All right, I just walked by my AC condenser and it was still running, and it shouldn't have been running because my first level was at temperature. So it was a bit alarming to me, and I've had problems with it staying on in the past, so I wanted to check it out. So I'm gonna go take a look right now and see what the issue might be. One of two things I think might be going on. First, the contactor might be sticking. That's the first thing and the easiest thing I can check. Second thing, I've had problems with, I believe it was like a defrost board. I don't know exactly how it works. I'm not an HVAC guy, so maybe someone can explain. But it has to do with making sure that the system, the coil and whatnot, properly defrosts, and it doesn't keep running, so the coil doesn't build up ice on it. So anyway, I'm gonna go check that out right now, and we will hopefully find out what's happening. And what I found was my lines are iced up, so you can see the frost on the lines. You can hear they're making this noise. Almost sounds like fluid of some sort trying to run through it. Here's an opening, and you can see the frosted line there as well. So I think what's happening is my condenser is just running all the time for some reason, and I would imagine the coil inside here is also frozen up if I took this cover off. Here's my condenser outside, and you can see I've got drippage from frozen lines. Here's my frozen line right here. And what I'm gonna do first is check my contactor. Right now it should have 24 volts AC going to the coil to pull it in to keep the compressor and the fan running. So this wire here and this wire here, those are going to my coil. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check to make sure I have 24 volts AC going across those two contacts. Alright, so now I have the leads across the coil, and I'm showing 0 volts AC. All right, so as you saw, we did check to make sure that there was no voltage coming through the coil on the contactor, so that contactor should not have been closed. But I do have 240 volts going from the primary to the secondary on that contactor, which tells me that it's probably stuck, the mechanical side of it. So I'm going to go out there and whack it with the handle side, the dumb side of a screwdriver, and see what it does. It should break it loose and turn it off immediately. But let's go check and see. And an easy way to tell that there's 240 volts on the primary and secondary is the fact that both the compressor and the fan are still running. So that's an easy check. You don't even have to put a meter on there, but if you want, you can. So let's go see what happens with this. Just like that. So, just as I suspected, the contactor has seized up, or it's gotten stuck, and a good whack of a screwdriver has turned it off. So now I shouldn't have any voltage on the secondary, and my lines should thaw out. The compressor and the fan has stopped running. Let's see if we can see down in there. There you go. The whole compressor is iced up. There we go. So if your compressor stays running, it's gonna ice up like that. It's supposed to turn off occasionally, and this thing's just been running for I don't know how long. All right, so I hope that helps. As you can see, my contactor was in fact seized up, and we'll go ahead and change that out. I'm going to make a separate video on how to change that out, but for now, hopefully that helps you diagnose kind of what's going on. If you see your condenser still running, could be a seized contactor or closed contactor that just needs replaced. So hope it helps. Have a good one.